Hi, my name is Mark Polton. I'm a real estate investor in the greater Charlotte, North Carolina area. I'm what you would call a no frills, no thrills real estate investor. If you're looking for a guy with a fancy car in the background, or a really cool studio office, and somebody wanting to sell you a $19.95 a month subscription to their newsletter, I'm not that guy. Check out a different channel. For some reason, I've had on my mind, including all last night, I needed to discuss bookkeeping. So if you're going to be in the real estate industry, bookkeeping is paramount. You must keep your books. You must keep accurate books. Everything is dependent upon that. I use Waze, which is a online accounting tool or bookkeeping. It's kind of like QuickBooks, but it's free. They have some features that you can pay for, but I was able to. It's not as probably quite as easy, or the reporting side is probably not quite as good as QuickBooks, but it's free and it works. And I was able to make it happen the way I needed to make it happen. So what you got to understand about bookkeeping is, your taxes and the tax benefits of being in real estate is one of the reasons you do that. That's where you make money. Yeah, you make money on your rent, but the entire purpose of tax advantaged investing, which is what being a landlord is to get the tax advantage. And if you don't have good bookkeeping and you don't have good records, then you don't get to take advantage of that. I had terrible records probably for my first 4 or 5 years. I've missed out on easy $50,000 in tax returns, probably more, maybe upwards of $70,000, because I didn't keep good records. I had actually hired 2 bookkeepers early on, and just my luck, or because I wasn't treating this as a business. They actually deleted my books, which for any business owner is devastating. You have all of this information, this historic information, and it's gone. You can't recreating it. It's possible. It's just not probable. It's going to be very, very difficult to do that. Also doesn't matter, because in the end, I can't go back and refile those taxes. I can't get my tax returns amended after 4 years and expect to get a return. I guess you can amend them at any time, but it's also, most CPAs will tell you that that's pretty much an automatic audit, which definitely don't want to do that. So and you need to understand the tax code, right? Here's a great example that I never hear anybody talk about, and I don't understand why, because you can basically write off anything you want as a business expense, but there's certain expenses, right, that have to be depreciated over a period of time. And these are typically high dollar value items, roofs, HVAC system, things that cost in the thousands of dollars to replace. Obviously you can depreciate the house over 27 and a half years, but major improvements have to be depreciated over typically a 4 or 5, maybe 6 year period. If it's a lot, then it could be as much as a 10-year period. The government isn't going to just let you write off a $10,000 expense in 1 year. I guess it's so that they can get their tax revenue from you. However, they do have something called a de minimis safe harbor election you can take. So typically anything over $500 you would have to depreciate over a multi-year period. However, if you happen to take this election, and I'll link the summary in the description below from the IRS's website. Linking the actual law, it's too complicated. I don't understand the legalese part of it, but the summary's pretty straightforward. So if you decide on your tax return to do this election, and it's just adding a piece of paper to your tax return, and when you file it, you can depreciate in 1 year, in the first year, any line item that's $2,500 or less. So I've seen some videos, and to give you some examples, right? If you bought 10 computers and for $2,400 each, and each line item of the invoice was for one computer at $2,400, you could depreciate all 10 of those computers off in the first year. However, if it's 10 times $2,400 and the line item comes out to $24,000, you cannot. So how do you work around that? Easy. I tell every contractor, everybody, I'm like, I need an invoice from you, and each line item can't be over $2,500. So if I'm paying $4,000 or $5,000 for a air conditioning unit, I just have them break it out. The air handler was $800. The outside unit was $1,200. Installation was $2,000. To charge the unit was $200. Whatever. Just make sure each line item is below $2,500, and you should not have a problem. Now, I'm not a CPA. I am not a lawyer. I'm not giving you tax advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I've researched over, probably the last couple years. And nobody's talking about this. Nobody tells you that you can do this. It was changed in 2016 from $500 to $2,500. And the entire purpose of it is to simplify accounting. And trust me, it does. Having to keep track of different depreciation schedules is, it's just a pain. I mean, it's tough enough to do it on your properties, much less on your roof and other things like that. Now, there are some other ways. There's some accelerated depreciation you can do. That's not for this topic. I'm actually not all that familiar with it. I know the concepts, not something I really want to do. We don't buy homes and pay enough money for them where that's really something that we want to look into. So anyways, read the summary, get to know the tax law, get to know the bookkeeping side. I highly suggest you do books on your own, at least for the first couple years, so that you can get used to what it takes to make that happen. We have, at the end of the year, we have a questionnaire from our accounting firm that we use, which is US Tax Shield. Can't beat them. Less than $500 to do our very, very complex tax return. I think in 2016 it was 181 pages. 2017 we just got back, probably is going to be over 200 pages long. So all that for under $500, can't beat it. Anyways, they have a questionnaire, and basically you just do your accounting by this questionnaire, by the categories, and stick everything you can possibly stick into categories, and they just make it happen after that. Anyways, I hope you go out and you live the You Won't Stop Me lifestyle, because I can tell you what, you will not stop me. We just learned some new strategies that are going to help bring my wife home a little bit quicker. Very excited about that. It's a Clayton Morris video. I'll be talking about that probably later in the week. Anyways, I wish you success.